He is in.
Hey, Theodore, shush. How you doing, everybody? This is Chris Johnson from Michigan, and this is our 45,322nd Oblast, and we're kicking it out. I have some amazing people on this panel, as always, and what I'm liking is the same faces I'm seeing show up every single week. I'm watching individuals who truly care about what an impassive angel is about and what it's going to be. I do have I want to touch on a few points. I get tons of things sent to me all week, like you've heard me say in the past. All right. I have a lot of them lately that are a little political, and I want to explain something about that. I understand in many countries, there's a lot of bad people in places they really shouldn't be, that really don't care about maybe the people in that country. And I'm not saying any countries. I try to stay away from it, but I know it's there. I know a blessing is going to fix a lot of things. Evil people is kind of hard to fix, especially if it's in a whole different world. But I am aware of all the things that have been sent to me about a lot of countries that we could say genocide, people being, treated not so nice. Do I like it? No. But that's something I'm trying to stay away with. Even America's got people where I don't like them, that they don't do real nice things. But what I'm looking for always is solutions. I'm looking for patience and kindness for people who really want to help. And I believe in my heart that as the angels move around the world, some of these countries that maybe aren't treating people so nice. And one of these countries that we're going to talk about tonight through Edward is he's going to talk a little bit about that. So I don't want anybody to get upset. I want him to touch a little bit on that, where it's about Haiti, why it got there, and what's happening. So he will touch a little bit on that. I try never to bring politicalness in here whatsoever. I know people kind of comes that way. You've heard me say I'm not crazy about. So we'll just call those the G word. We'll call certain individuals we're not always crazy about because they don't really do the right thing, and that's always scared me. Well, we could say, we could look at the past, the Hitlers, slavery, all the things that were so wrong in this world that we never want to happen again. That's one thing I really want to touch on, but we cannot ever make this political. What we can do is make it humanitarian. So we can fix these people that think that they can do whatever they want to a human being, man, woman, and child. That's my goal. I don't ever want to challenge them. I never want to go against them. All I want to do is show them what love brings in this world, not control and hate. So on that note, I want to bring two people in here. It's a father and daughter. It's Eddie Francis or Edward Francis, if I said that right. If I didn't, Edward, can you unmute yourself, please? I hear something.
Could you hear me now?
Edward, there you are. And I know your daughter is here. Latoya,
Yes.
Latoya, you could jump in whenever you want with Edward. But Edward, this show is yours. Please tell us your story and what you want to do. And then once we get through that, we'll maybe have some questions and some answers. What do you think? All yours? Ready to go, Edward?
Yes, I'm ready, Chris.
All right. It's all yours. It's all yours.
Good night to all you founders, all your kings and queens. And my name is Edward Francis. Okay. I was born in the island, a beautiful little island of St. Kitts. I moved to the Virgin Islands, US Virgin Islands, St. Croix, when I was very young. And then I moved to Miami. And I met a guy, while I was in St. Croix, I met a guy, he was stranded. And when I stopped my car, as I always does, because I always like to help people. And I asked him, I say, you look as if you're stranded. Do you know what are you doing here? So he said to me, no English, no English. I said, no English? What you're doing here? He said, Haiti, Haiti. I said, well, I can't speak Haiti's language, and you can't speak English. So what I do, I take him in my car and I take him to where the Haitians were living. We had some friends and they were staying there. And then when I got there with him, I realized that he was looking for someone that you usually go to Haiti at his house, but he don't even know the address. And I keep going back to Haiti because when I went to, I fell in love with Haiti. It's a poor country, and I fell in love with Haiti. And I've been going back and forth until I decided I'm married to a Haitian lady. And her father and myself, we got together and we built a hotel, a small hotel, very nice hotel, but small. And the father died. And in 2010, when they had an earthquake in Haiti, my wife that was married at the time, she died in the earthquake. I was also in the house, but God saved my life. And my plans, I've been in passive. A friend of mine, I know he's there listening to it because I saw him come up there, Theodore Williams. He introduced me, he came and told me about this in church one night. I think it was a Wednesday night. And like I'm someone who's been running around for a very long time, when he told me, I said, you know something? I know what you're talking about. Even though it's the first time I'm hearing about them passes. But I say I was around like when Walmart and those things, when John Walden was selling things out the back of his car. And then he started to sell shares on Wall Street for $3,000. But I had money at the time, but I didn't buy any shares. And after Brother Tia was talking to me, I tell him, you know, I would like to join it, but at the moment I don't have the money. He said, you don't? I said, no. He said, you want to get it? I said, yes. So he signed me up and I got the money and gave it back to him. And as I hear, now I'm in passive, maybe tonight is the first time you're all hearing me, but I've been in passive from July 2019. I've been in passive. And I never come on the panelist or anything like that, but I've been very active, getting people to join up and stuff like that. And me and my friend there, Theo Williams, we're very good friends. So when I first heard what In Passive was doing, every time, well, Theo signed me up, but every time I hear Mr. Ash speak, every time I hear him speak, I buy another spot. I end up with 7 spots, which I didn't know. My plan is that this hotel that we had in Haiti, I was going to pay out of what I was going to get from In Passive. I was going to pay the other party out for the hotel, and I'm going to use the hotel and for other orphanage. And that hotel that I was running there also was drilling water wells in Haiti. I had a big company, Caribbean Drilling. I was drilling water wells. I did a lot of work in Haiti, and the hotel is still there. But after the earthquake and my wife died and things didn't go too well, I leave Haiti. I'm not going to go and talk about what's going on in Haiti right now because that's not what I want to talk about. What I want to do in Haiti, Chris and all the other folks who listen to me, I was going to build an orphanage, take that hotel and turn it into an orphanage. But after In Passive come around, I decide what I want to do, the hotel will be too small for what I really want to do. And I say, what I really want to do, if I cannot do it in Haiti, I've got to go to Africa. And I don't know nothing about Africa. I need to start a big compound Right now, I already have about 2.5 acres of land. I haven't paid for it. I have someone looking at it. They already took the papers to the attorneys in Haiti. They checked the papers out because he has a little problem with land in Haiti. And they took the papers to the attorneys, and I checked up to this morning, was talking to them. What I want to do, I want to build a compound. I want to start with 200 kids, 100 boys and 100 girls. Section for the boys, section for the girls. I need to build a school on that compound. I need to build a church on that compound. And I need everything that would make those children comfortable in that compound. I need to build swimming pools for them, and I need to build recreation halls for them. I need to build I need a section that they could do a little gardening, plant their fruits, their vegetables, their tomatoes, and the stuff that they plant. That they in the spare time they could be really doing some kind of work. And what I want to do, I want when I get those young kids in, I don't know how long the good Lord going to spare my life, but look at me now. I mean, you could see me, you won't believe. I met Dr. Derek. We had a meet and greet, and when I told him, I didn't want to tell him my age, but my brother that is there, Brother Theo, he got up and he says, Eddie, how old are you, Eddie? I said, well, you want me to give away my age? I says, he said, I'm 82. In August, I'm going to make an 83. And everybody just opened their mouth. They can't believe. Because everybody look at me, think I'm like 60 years old. And I said, well, that's what the good Lord is doing for me because he has work for me to do. So what I want to do in Haiti, Chris, I want to build this compound, and not just one compound. I need to build more than one compound, but I want to start it out with one. I need to start with about 200 kids, maybe from 5 years up, that they go to the school right there in that compound. They go to church there, they live there, they eat there, they do everything there. They got the swimming pools and everything to have their little recreation. Got a small ball field for them that they could do games, whatever games they want, they could have it at this compound. And after I get that one going, and now since I know the reason why I doing this and move away from that hotel is since I heard about Bless and Impact. And I know something like that Bless would help me to do, and that's why I decided to develop it up more larger than I first thought, because the hotel couldn't hold many kids. And when I finish the first one, I'm going to try and move other places and do more, because you need, because there's a lot of kids in Haiti that the parents die, they're running around and they don't have no place. I mean, I lived in Haiti. I lived in Haiti about for 18 years, and I was going back and forth before I really lived in Haiti. And I know a lot about Haiti. Sometimes I meet Haitians outside and I tell them, I even know about Haiti more than you know about Haiti. Because I drilling water wells. I used to go all over Haiti drilling water wells. And I know a lot about the country. And now everybody in Haiti who knew me, they are calling on me. They wonder when I'm coming back, when you're coming back, when you're coming back, when you're coming back. So my aim right now is to build orphanages, and orphanage to school all the way up from junior high all the way up to college, because we could do that, all that, and virtually and in passive. Could do all that, and then when I finish with one, I'll move to another one. Like my daughter Latoya, she told me that we're not going to just do an orphanage. We're going to try to do some homeless people, because there's a lot of homeless people in here. So this is what my plans are right now, and I wanted. And this is my first time I came. Since I've been I listened to all the webinars, all of them, always on the webinars. But I never come on as a panelist. But I listen to all the webinars because right now I'm retired, I'm not working, and I have hard time to do the things that I would love to do. So this is my plan, Chris, for what I want to do for Haiti, is to build orphanage, get the kids while they are young and bring them up that when they get out of the compound of the school, they're ready to help their family and help their country and help other people. This is my plans right now for Haiti, Chris. And this is as far as I could go for tonight. If anyone want to ask me any question, I'm here ready. So,
Edward,
yes.
number one, I appreciate what you're doing, especially how young you are. It's not a big thing. What I'd like to do is I would like for your daughter, if she would like, Latoya, just to tell me a few words about your father. I did talk to Latoya today. Number one, she made me feel very comfortable when I talked to her. And she told me some amazing things about you that, of course, I really love. But Latoya, would you like to add anything? Just give people a little bit of information about your father. The good stuff, Latoya.
Yes, absolutely. There's only good things. So, kind of long story short, my father, I did not grow up with my father. Drama and conflict happens when children are born. So it ended up that I actually did not get to talk with my dad until March of 2022. That Saturday before that big On Passive meeting, he told me all about. So literally the first time I talked to my father after so many odd years, he brought me to On Passive, and here I am. So, it's been an amazing journey. We talk every day, and as soon as he told me about his project, he asked me, of course, to help him get it to a platform where other people could hear what's going on, and offer their information, their assistance, any kinds of contacts, just to help us get to where we would like to be for the children there. It's very dangerous for adults. It is very, very dangerous there for adults right now. And so what happens to children when they have no parents, when they have no caregivers, no adults to help them, they are extraordinarily vulnerable, very, very, very vulnerable. So the plan is to have them be in a place that's safe. Of course, my first thought, well, let's just move them somewhere else. Well, Dad was like, no, we want the children to stay there. They have to have the opportunity to improve their country from within. And of course, finding out many, many weeks later about the, international refugee crisis, and many of those international refugees are children. So absolutely keep them in their home, where they know exactly what they need to have a better life, and On Passive will be able to give them every single tool to do that. A place to stay, food, water, shelter, security, support, education, healthcare, anything that they need. And it's just amazing that On Passive not only has the heart and the generosity as an organization to fund any needs. There's also, we can make this compound one of the most state-of-the-art places in the world. Haiti, of course, we know there's earthquakes there. So wouldn't the structure have to be, I was about to say earthquake repellent, but that's not what I wanted to say. So the place where they would have to live would have to be safe, for any, natural disasters that would happen. And not only safe for that, but safe for people coming in and out. I know OnPassive has the facial recognition and being able to give a report on people's expressions and emotional state at the time. Well, wouldn't it be great if we knew that anybody coming in and out near or around the compound, we know what's going on with them, like how they're feeling, the kids or visitors. So, the basic desire is to help the children there. And the ways that OnPassive can help them are unlimited. So that's what I would say. Thank you.
Latoya, I appreciate that. I have to agree with your dad in a lot of ways. As far as, refugees basically getting taken from your country, your home, and just thrown into a whole new country. It's a shocker, especially for little kids. I really commend your dad for saying, no. These kids are the future of Haiti. These kids that are living like this are going to change things for the better. I don't necessarily think it's always a great thing. Of course, we got to protect people. I understand why it happens. I understand why a lot of little kids are just left by themselves because of evil people. That's the bottom line. And I know what's going on in Haiti, which I did my studies and from what you have told me. And that's horrible. But I commend this project because it will work. I know it'll work. You know why? Because there's people like your father, like yourself, like Theo Williams, who want to make changes in that country. And the problem is we're all afraid of the big guy. That's the truth. We're afraid of that big evil guy or girl, however you want to say it. And we don't know what to do because we don't want to get injured, hurt, or threatened. But listen to me. This is going to sound really horrible how I say this. It's kind of like I use it as a racism also. Sooner or later, all these old people that were racist, that were grown up in a horrible way, taught about it, all these evil rulers that were brought up to be like this, they're all going to die sooner or later. And who's going to come up behind them? Not new rulers, even though it seems that way. No, these kids that Edward Francis said, no, we're going to build this like a city. I'm not really crazy about the compound word, but it's to protect them, to keep their heritage going the right way, to teach them the right things. My gosh, Edward, the first thing he says, it's going to be a church in there. Absolutely. There's going to be some educational schools there. Absolutely. But if we just pull them out of everything all the time, it's like we lose, they lose. I know I wouldn't want to be pulled out of my home, say, you got to go. That's just the way we got to change that mindset. So, Edward, I commend you. Now, I see that we have a hand up as Professor Howard. If you'd like to unmute yourself, Professor, and ask your question.
Yeah, can everyone hear me?
Very little. Can you just speak a little louder?
Okay, I'll try to speak directly into the microphone. Is that better?
There you go. That's a little better.
All right. Yeah, I've got some serious problems here. I had to put the computer on the floor because before it was making so much computer noise with the fan and all, and it was just every time I get on, it's like someone's saying, "Okay, yeah, we can't probably make you out or whatever." But anyway, if you can hear me clearly,
very good. I can hear you.
Address this. My heart goes out to anyone such as Latoya and her dad. I mean, I think they're wonderful individuals. What they propose is something that's more than significant. I mean, we've got to do something about that problem. It's a serious problem. As when I was a kid, as a matter of fact, here in the United States, I was bullied, a lot earlier because I was like, I didn't want to fight anyone. I didn't feel like I had to prove myself, to be the most notorious person to deal with these idiots. All I did was basically let it beat me up. And would you believe that the only reason that they stopped beating me up is because I would sing to them? And I used to sing really well, and in the early days, like even in the 6th grade, when I first came over to the new school and everything, and I wasn't very well accepted because they think I'm nuts because I'm a nerd. I'm the electronics guy, all kinds of things. But anyway, I used to get bullied really bad. And finally, the only way that it actually stopped was basically one day I said, okay, fine, they're going to beat the daylights out of me anyway, so I might as well fight back. And I finally did stand up to myself, and I beat the crap out of this big guy. He's way bigger than me. He's taller. I was intimidated. You know, one day he put his hand out in front of me, and he put it on my chest, and my heart was palpitating so bad. He said, "Robert, what's wrong with you, man? What the hell wrong with you?" I said, "Stanley, why don't you just leave me alone? I don't want to fight. I don't want to." He said, "I'm gonna beat your," you know, I'm not gonna say it, but you know. But anyway, after that, I said, "No, I'm not taking him." I actually knocked him down, grabbed him, put him between the strongest muscles I've got in my legs. I had him on the floor in front of everyone. And I got instant respect that day. They only understood violence. And it wasn't until I did that, he started treating me with more respect. But I was saying to Stanley before, and he would, he'd lay off. But anyway, the only thing I'm saying, I applaud Victoria's effort, Dad's effort, and I know they're going to be heroes in the country in relationship to that. Because in a way, I felt like I was the hero, in my sense of, defending myself at one time. But let me just say this, I'm gonna cut to the chase and I'm gonna give a lot of other people good airtime. As you know, I'm an inventor. And you and I've talked before, Chris, and I had you laughing about different things a while back. I love you, man. You're just marvelous. You have so much value. I love everything you express. You come directly from the heart. I'm a man from the heart. I love people. And I will say this, I've got something that whenever I can find out how to get on this, because I understand Ash is welcoming ideas from us. If I can send him my schematics, the drawings, let the experts do what they will with this product, I think we're going to revolutionize something else. Another thing we can add to our income without passing. I'm the guy who invented the toilets that flush by themselves over 50 years ago. Okay? And they stole that from me. Now, what I like to do, I've got a newer version of it. It's an upgrade. Can you believe that you can install it without any tools? You don't have to be a techie. You can just set this thing into the top of the toilet bowl and then, just hook up the chain and you're done. You plug it in with a long cord. It's perfectly safe. It's watertight, no electrical problem. The thing is I designed this thing so that anybody can install it within about a few minutes, if that long. You don't have to be a techie. Real easy to do. You drop it down in there. It holds itself in place and it will flush the toilet when you walk up to it and leave. It knows when you've used it and it flushes. It doesn't get any more straightforward than that. They don't have an upgrade kit, to my knowledge. All these companies, they're still building this thing the way I did it 50 years ago. And you have to have a professional install it. They charge a fortune for it. We can do it at a low price point. And I'm sure if Ash decides to get on board with it, I would love to just give him the exclusive rights to build this thing. I don't care if they put my name on it or not. Whatever they can do with it, And I know you can probably get better in touch with Ash than I can, because I don't want to disturb him. I know he's very busy. But if you can just somehow let him know to contact me, if I got to give him a phone number, email address, however you can get in touch with me, and I can just send him what I have.
All right, Professor, let's do this. Keep your idea, have everything documented. There's going to be a time and a place where Ash is going to be looking for new ideas. And there will be, from what I'm being told, there's going to be a little thing in your back office that you can send these ideas to. But right now, he does want to hear different ideas, but he also wants to get what he's got going first.
Oh, of course.
So one of those things, thank you. One of those, a lot of people have sent me ideas. I don't want you to send them to me. I want you to keep them for yourself. Okay. And when Ash is ready to start listening to these ideas, he'll listen to them. Go ahead, Julie.
Professor?
Yes, Julie. How you doing?
I'm gonna put Chris's contact information in the chat. And why don't you just forward what you have to Chris, and he knows exactly where he will send that to, okay? The best is to send him what you have.
Julie, I appreciate that very much. I certainly will.
I'll chat for you privately to you.
Okay. Yeah, because like I say, I don't want to interrupt anything Ash is doing. I know he's very busy. He's extremely busy. What's a privilege when we can actually have him? I just feel like I know him. And I feel like I know all you guys. Y'all are just family. I love y'all, Julie. And one day we'll probably lay an eyeball and handshake on each other, a hug and all that. But we are on a roll. And when I tried to tell my people that's under me, about what's going on now, because a lot of them don't ever log in. They never go to the back office. They just don't seem to do anything. I said, look, you guys need to plug in like Chris and Marty DeGarmo and Red Redford and Mr. Morlock. I mean, all these folks, y'all all just fantastic. But the thing I'm saying is, I'm trying to get them engaged because I said, look, my God, if you people just get a few dollars into your account that we don't touch yet, and then unlock it, if you have a money problem, Ashton made provisions so that nobody's left behind, as we all know. And, it doesn't get any better than that. So, look, I applaud everybody's efforts with everything, and I've learned so much from you folks. You're my mentors, you're my friends, and, I've been having some technical difficulties, of course, with my computer, and I haven't been able to get in like I'd like to. But I'm trying to get more engaged. I saw this and I couldn't resist it, especially when they were talking about something near and dear to my heart. Because as I mentioned, y'all heard my story. I've been bullied, but yet I overcame it. And I emerged somewhat of a hero because people looked at me, they said, Howard finally stood up. And then they started respecting me, And that, it's a shame that there are people like that in the world, but we got to face it. Everyone is not of our heart. They're not, good people. And we've got to do something to try to eradicate that, protect people, as Latoya and her dad are doing. I applaud that. I applaud everyone's efforts.
Professor, if I may, I just send it to your chat right now.
Okay.
And please include all that information that's there.
Uh-huh.
To Chris, and then, well, good. Thanks so much. Thank you so much.
Julie, I appreciate you very much. And also you, Chris, y'all just great.
Yeah, Julie, put your email in there too.
All right.
So I'm gonna double send it to both of us, Professor, please.
Hey, I certainly will, Chris. Absolutely. And like I say, we don't want to bother Ash with too much. I know he's got a lot on his plate, but when I can, if we can do this could probably add to our product line because, I feel like we do a lot better than the companies that are charging people too much for this thing. This thing should have been in the home. I tried to do it years ago as a cheap version, as a kit upgrade. And that's what I started with. And then they ran with the ball and put this thing out and made a fortune and left me out. My attorneys sold me out to foreign industry. And they made a fortune, Mitsubishi and all their subsidiaries. They're in the big umbrella companies. I could just go on for days to name companies, Air Delights, Neutralis, Impo, Toto, Zern. There's just so many companies making my stuff. But I think we can compete with my earlier product because it's way ahead of what they did. I mean, we can even add speech recognition if we want to. And you just say flush and there it goes. It just does its thing. But I'll let the engineering team do what they want to do with it. I'll present everything I have, and in good time, we'll get this hopefully going.
Thank you, Professor. Both of our emails are in the chat. Let us know if you got it. Thank you.
Right. Yeah, let me go and look and see if I can see that. Okay, I see live webinar here. Okay. Ooh, everything disappeared when I live webinar. Gosh, I just had all that. I have the chat on.
Professor, you got a Facebook?
Yeah, I've got a Facebook. Uh-huh.
You got my contact, probably Julie's too.
Yeah,
if you don't get there, just send us the information through there. I have a couple things that were brought to my attention when you said that, so that's why we're asking you for that information.
Oh, very good. Okay, very good. All right. Well,
Right.
let's get off and let other people have a chance. Like I say.
Yeah, I really want to get back to Haiti.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, yes. Absolutely.
But I appreciate it, Professor.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Take care.
Okay, so there you have it, folks. Out of the blue, we got a guy named Howard, Professor Howard. If I remember Howard, he's also a comedian too, but just an idea like that. It actually caught someone's attention. I won't tell you who. And they said, get the name in the email. So, but I want to keep it to Obless. Robert, from now on, when you have those, or anyone, if you have ideas like that, I'm going to see if we can make some kind of, I know Julie's got an email where those can go, but my thing is, when you have ideas like that and other people hear them, you heard what happened to you the first time, Professor. That's why I like to keep things in people's heads. It's not that I don't trust anyone sometimes when it comes to ideas. I myself had an idea like that years ago, and I told someone and they ran with it and I lost it, but that shame on me. But when you guys hear something like this, be in consideration. Professor probably put a lot of work into that, and just ignore what you heard and let it run. Let Professor do what he's got to do. All right, back to Haiti. I want to get back to Haiti. I want to ask LaToya, if I call you TY, I want to ask LaToya a couple questions. Now, LaToya, I talked to you for a couple minutes today. She was like in shock, which I thought was funny. Oh my God, hey. I'm like, hold on, take a breath. It's just me, normal guy here. What would you do? Do you think that you can assist your father and either make it better or your ideas? Have you talked with you've talked with your dad about this, what you'd like to see also?
Actually, honestly, no. This is my dad's idea, his project. I was, there to happen to be in a good place to make the connection. So I haven't really thought about it very specifically about how I would be involved, but I have. I'm 100% committed to my success and to my dad's success, and I know how to talk to people. I've worked with kids, I've worked with adults, I've worked with a whole range of people. So almost kind of just whatever it takes, whatever I can do, wherever my area of expertise. If it's not my area of expertise, I'm great at connecting people. So basically, I would do whatever he wants, whatever he asks for me to do.
I know you're a social worker, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm sure, and I always say this. So you guys have heard Edwards. Uh-oh, we just lost Edward. He's having a warning signal. You guys have heard, that sounds like he's got some kind of, we used to get tornadoes. I remember hearing that noise on the television. I don't think he's hooked up to a machine, right, LaToya? That wasn't.
No, he's in Florida. He's in Florida. So there's probably weather related alerts going on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping you were going to say, oh my God, he's on one of those heart machines and we just heard a flatline sound. I don't want to hear that noise. So that would be the kicker to it all. But so anyone that have listened to Edward, what he had to say, and if you guys notice, I'm trying to go all over the world with this. I'm trying to get in different countries. We were in the Philippines last weekend. We're in Haiti this week. I really want to hear every country. The lady, Emily de Guzman, who was here last week, which I call she found me. I didn't find her. Okay. What she did and what she brought out is the same thing that Edward's trying to do for Haiti. That's what I'm looking for. You guys don't know it. Ash Mufareh wants us to look for diamonds in the rough. In other words, and that's what I call a diamond in the rough. We all represent a passive. We all represent the angels. But if each individual represented their countries and we all come from different countries, imagine what we're really get, that's really going to be, we're going to clean a lot of things up and we're going to help a lot of people. So I am looking, myself, Julie, Marty, Red, Lynn, we're all looking for individuals. And I'm not going to say that want to shine. I'm going to say that just want to talk about helping people, doing things different. And I know there's a lot of you out there that's already brought up many, many amazing projects. I know Mike's got the going on in the freeway in Africa. That's an amazing thing. I've heard some phenomenal stories from all of you of what you're going to do. And I know that you're going to do it. But if we took, I don't know what we have in the screen because my eyes are shot tonight. How many people we got in the screen? Let's say y'all came from a different country. And from what I see, it looks like we got, I don't know. It looks like over 200 to me. I could be wrong. My eyes are horrible tonight. Can you imagine if each one of us came from 200 different countries and each one of us had a story like Edward or like Emily from last week, and each one of us wanted to do something for the children, for the women, for families, for homelessness, for poverty, for humanity, just one individual. And we all took that back to our home country and we made a difference. One person can make a difference. I don't care what you say. One person can make a difference. Ask Mufareh. He made a difference. All right. Julie Wen. She made a difference. I'll talk about Julie for a second. She came out of nowhere. They started the Julie Milo show. Everyone said, wow, who's this? And I used to tease her all the time. I would say jokingly, who let the little Asian boy on the webinar? It was our private little joke we always had. You know, funny stuff. And Julie Wen has literally built an empire of helping people through Impassive. Marty DeGarmo. Everyone knows who Marty DeGarmo. Same thing. He hates when I talk about him. I'm proud to talk about him because he's there to help. Not just his family, the entire world, whoever asks. That's a pretty good thing. But if each one of us dug into our own roots and remembered things or seen things or know things that are going on now, and we could fix those, that's when the world gets better. When some of these old, miserable, rotten people eventually phase off, we'll say phase off. I don't want to sound too cruel about it. All right. And we have people like you teaching your kids that, yeah, this was wrong. We don't ever want to see it happen again. We have to change it. We're going to see some amazing changes. And it really is all because of Impassive and the power of the people and the foundation and what we're going to do, period. It's that simple, guys. I'm letting you know that this is this simple. We've already changed things. Now we got to do something about it. And that doesn't mean put our berets on, put our army boots on and march on. No. We're going to do it in a positive way. We're going to do it with love and we're going to do it with kindness. Are we going to come across some mountain men, mountains of ignorance, mountains of negativity? Absolutely. Absolutely we will. But 1,500,000 to start, ain't many people that's going to stand against us. Let me tell you that. Because technically we're trying to help out their country. Every country. So, all right, I'm ranting here. Ty Young, please unmute yourself, please.
Hello. I just want to say to Latoya and Edwards that's a beautiful idea, and I want to help all I can in any way I can. But I wanted to just ask a question about it too. I was wondering, how are you going to make sure the people that you staff such a place or such places that would be okay psychologically and be able to trust them around all the kids? That would be my question. So I don't know how that's a big undertaking, you know what I mean, to screen people and hire enough people to help, you know what I mean, that's going to help the kids, not abuse them or do something. Because you hear all kind of crazy stories about those kind of facilities that abuse children, you know, and that stuff happens, and I don't even want to hear it anymore. But anyway, that's just my question.
Oh, so Ty, thank you so much. That is actually a very, very good point to bring up. And that's kind of why I brought up the security that Impassive can offer when it comes to the AI and the technology. You know, so working in any state in America, so I'm licensed in the state of Tennessee, and working as a professional, you know, with children, there's a background check, and then there's another step. There is actually more intense background check when you're working with children. So there is a standard for making sure that anybody who works with children basically is properly vetted. And I know that with staff, you know, the AI portion where we can, you know, see who's coming in, who's coming out, you know, so I think keeping, you know, safety of the children in mind at every level is important. And thanks, Ty, for bringing that up. So however Impassive can assist in the most secure safe way is how we would handle that.
What do you think, Ty? That answer your question? Because you asked
Yeah.
the question of the
Yeah.
right lady.
Yeah, I mean, I just something to think about that people's, you know, it is something, it's a big thing to think about. I just wanted to help. I just want to help with the conversation and give other people same thoughts and same ideas so that they, you know, if they decide they want to do the same thing, what it actually takes, what it's going to take. It's anything can be just money, you know, it's going to be a lot more trust, honesty, sincerity, love, compassion, and that's a lot to ask from, you know, who knows who. That's why I said that anyway.
And then I've worked with children in the past, and one of my specialty areas was child abuse and neglect. So it's a very familiar fear and concern. And one of the things is that, you know, we can't 100% blanketly protect every child. Like, we can't keep bad stuff from happening to children. But one of the best things, though, is when those, hold on, oh, something bad's gonna happen to my children. No, I'm just kidding.
Do that live, guys. That's a mom right there. That's good, Latoya. You're okay.
Okay, so you can't protect children 100%. You know, we would love to do that, but life is life. Things happen, bad things happen. What we do is we try to work on minimizing the distress that occurs. So I'll give you an example from me and my two kids. We were taking our babysitter back home, and where she lived was it was one very narrow road, and it had been raining, you know, in the Pacific Northwest right now, and so we had actually pulled over to the side to allow her mother to drive past us. And when we moved over to the side, we ended up getting stuck in the mud. Didn't realize it, and then I tried to pull out, and as I drove, hit the gas, it just sunk us deeper in the mud, and so we were kind of tilted. The kids were freaking out. They were freaking out. You know, I was freaking out too, because it is weird just kind of, you know, being tilted to the side. But what happened is that it was technically a trauma. Okay, they were distressed about it. They were scared, you know, and I could not stop us from getting stuck in the mud. But what I could do was help ease their distress. Hey guys, we're fine. We just got stuck, you know, and doing the explaining. So even if something unfortunate happens, we hope that it doesn't, but we can't control that. We do our best to help make it easier. We also want to give kids the opportunity to speak up. That's one of the things that kids don't really have. They don't have the opportunity to say, hey, this is going wrong. This is how I feel about this, you know? And so giving kids a voice helps to protect them, because things that happen to them, bad things that happen to them, usually happen in secrecy. You know, we don't know what's going on. They don't have a voice. They can't say, hey, we're in trouble, we need help. So also giving kids a voice to speak up for themselves. Because for my kids, they had a traumatic experience, and what do? They talked to me about it. You know, for a good long while, my daughter brought it up. Do you remember that time we got stuck in the mud? Yeah, that was kind of scary, wasn't it? Yeah. But we got to eat chili because my babysitter took them to her house while I was waiting for her dad to come pull us out. You know, they got a chance to eat chili, and they got a chance to see her animals. She has like rats, and, you know, so it started off as a traumatic experience, but as we processed it through, it ended up being just a funny memory or a weird memory. Like, you remember when that happened. So, you know, being, you know, mindful of giving children the authority and the voice to speak up for themselves, and to have on passive their angels. Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you.
I think we found another diamond in the rough there, Julie, Marty, Lynn. I'm really liking Latoya. Yeah, I have to agree, Latoya. It's almost impossible. I mean, there's people in your own backyard that might be doing something pretty bad to children right now. That's the hard part. I think we all got good plans. We can help a lot of people through that. And it was a good question, Ty. I think Latoya answered that with very good professionalism too. So thank you, Latoya. All right, Engineer Mike, can you please unmute yourself? And thanks for the question, Ty.
Hello, everybody. Good evening, our leaders. Another great day here in our Compassive blessed brainstorming. I just wanted to the topic is a great one. Thank you, Edward. Thank you, Latoya, and our big bro, Professor Howard. Thank you very much for and all the other speakers who have spoken before. Thank you for your question. So I wanted to know if, Edward, if you have any connections, if you've gotten connected or Latoya with one of our sisters, Amadine Dakotin. She's from Haiti, and she was, I used to work with her. She's getting all these big programs and plans. I don't know if you people are working together. Is that something that she can be a force to reckon with in that kind of a project? She has a goodwill, and she's ready to do something too for the Haitians. So I think if you guys can come up like a force, it will be a very big one. I don't know if you guys are in contact with each other.
Not now, but we will. I just wrote her email down. She left it in the chat, so I have it down. Yes, thank you.
You're welcome, Latoya. That's all I got, big bro, for now.
All right, who are you calling a big bro, man? I'd be like a rag doll in your arms. You know that. All right, Michael. Thank you very much for bringing that up. Appreciate you. Once again, give with Latoya and Edward, but I'm sure Latoya is the main keeper there because Edward, he's very young and that technology might be not used to it. So send Latoya.
He's used to being retired. He's used to being retired. Yeah. He's not into working too hard.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing. But you guys want to connect with Latoya and her father, helping out with this project, please send private chat to Latoya, your email, phone number, whatever, and connect. That's what a lot of this is about. Or Theo, because I see Theo. I think he's a part of this. Theo, before I call on Tina, would you like to say anything, Theo? You seem to be really inspirational and part of this with Edward there.
Very much. Thank you very much. Well, most I could say, the discussion is a very good one when you have to talk about kids and building hope, in children and everything. I mean, it's a good thing. And I just want to say that it was good that I could have made contact with Eddie and in such a way. He have good experience, and I know he lived in Haiti for quite a while. So he know exactly what he's talking about. And he's seen it, he's seen the situation, so he could talk about what he have seen. And that is very good. So, but, I'm just here willing to help, willing to assist and give my best. That's it. Thank you.
We appreciate that, Theo. We really do. Because you never talk, man. I think you're another diamond in the rough too. That's what I think. So I'm glad you spoke tonight. All right, my beautiful Tina J from Singapore, please unmute yourself, young lady.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, world. Tina from sunny Singapore. I just have a question for Latoya in regards to sustainability of, the orphanage and everything that you want to do for the children. One of the question is, of course, education. The other thing is about resilient building. I'm sure they are already resilient given their I would say unfortunate situation. But I was wondering what else besides just education, the formal education in terms of career building as well, because I think I heard Edward mentioning with regards to youth that it's walking around and not giving back to the society in terms of work and career. So my question would be, what are the sustainable programs that you would like to see in the orphanage? And at the same time, Edward also mentioned, or was it you who mentioned about, the homelessness? So we do have that demographic of people in Haiti, and whether there's any plans to integrate them, to have an intergenerational conversations between both of them in terms of sharing life and sharing what they know, the difference between what the old days and also what is in the future for the children, and getting the oldies to come or to be in the now, so to speak, especially in this digital world. Edward is a very young 80 plus. We have veterans here in Singapore who's very techy at the ripe old age of 88. So, so that's why I'm saying, is there any plans for intergenerational conversations for both of them to come up and be in the now? Yeah, thank you.
Well, Tina, wow, that's a beautiful idea. So this is my dad's, dream for what he wants to do. And really we've only just now started getting an opportunity by talking to you all today to start really fleshing some of the details out. Because it's going to be a huge undertaking, very, very big. So one of the things that my dad had mentioned to me when we first talked about it is that he does want for the children to work. I have a 4-year-old, and she loves to help. She's always willing to, do whatever it is. She gets a little bit bossy sometimes, but that's how kids learn. That's how they learn to, assert themselves. That's how they learn to be part of the family, because we all have our roles in our family. And, we don't want it to be, we're just here protecting you, we're giving you an education, and we're secluding you, from your community or from your society, your culture. Yeah. So absolutely, we would want to be sure that they did have the opportunity to work, because like Dad mentioned, planting and gardening, like my kids love getting out in the garden, being able to do that. Just planting seeds, even if it's, they're little enough to just plant a seed, and watch it grow. If they can help around the church or any other structure there. One thing my dad, left off the list, of course, a clinic, some type of healthcare area. So I know when I was young, my ex-stepfather was a scientist, and I would go to his lab. I had so much fun. I didn't know what I was doing, but I got to look at stuff. I got to look at microscopes. I got to, do all of these, adult things as a kid, because I had the opportunity to do that. So making sure that the children do get opportunities to interact with their, the intergenerational conversations, absolutely. So yeah, thank you so much, Tina. That's a great question. And with the homelessness as well, that's one of my passions, is to, there's so many empty homes, or investors buying up a lot of homes and trying to sell them, for vacation properties. Like, people can afford to go on vacations, and the ability to buy an affordable home first time is out of many people's reach. Or there's a lot of like commercial properties, like multi-residential places like apartments and things like that. On the market here, out here in Seattle area, you know, imagine, you know, like having, you know, putting that together and, you know, fixing it up for, you know, for homeless teens or, you know, for homeless vets, you know. So, I mean, homelessness and addressing that as an issue culturally, absolutely. And how can we get the children involved? What do they, how can they see people going from homelessness to, you know, doing something, having a place to stay that's safe, that's earthquake resistant, you know, that protects them. Because one of the best things for children is to have a home. My children have a home here. You know, they walk in on me showing me something that's broke because this is their home. You know, there's no limits for where they can go and what they can do or what say they have here with me. So, you know, giving the children the opportunity to see somebody go from, you know, living on the streets or living, you know, in insecure housing, and doing what they can to help, and then going back to their home and going back to where they live and feeling good about what they've done. Thanks, Tina.
Thank you, Latoya. Great sharing. Thank you.
You know what? I just want Latoya to come with me everywhere I go now because she answers questions really good. Before, I have to bring someone on because he said if I don't bring him on, he's going to beat me up. So Marty, he has something important to say. Marty, can you unmute yourself? Please, Bruce and Narelle, I apologize. I don't normally go out of turn, but he's pretty demanding. He wants to say something. So Marty, you go right ahead, brother.
It wasn't quite that bad, everybody, okay? I didn't force them. I just wanted to talk because I've got to go. Latoya, you are a diamond in the rough, and so is your father. Now listen, here's a prime example of not having to reinvent the wheel. If you get money in Edward's hands, Edward's going to do the right thing, right? I mean, you don't have to go out and redo it. There's a lot of people out there right now doing it with nothing. If Bless can bless them so that when they do it, they can do it at a big scale, it'll change somebody's world, many worlds. So that to me is so powerful. And yeah, Latoya, I don't know where you've been, but don't disappear again. Because there's a lot of people out there, I said earlier, there's a lot of people, diamonds in the rough, and we may miss them because the person above them, I'm not saying this is in your case, Latoya, but sometimes the people above them are turds. Yeah, I don't know what else to call it, but they're not diamonds, so they could care less if you're seen or not seen. But I love finding new people like that. I mean, this is what made the company strong, and we got a few more weeks. We got to keep doing that. If you know somebody's out there that you think when you hear her, she sounds like Latoya or her father, grab them because they do have a voice. And I know on this side of the world, we listen to that voice because that's what I love doing that. And that's what matters. Nobody needs to hear me every day. There's new things coming up. But remember, that's Bless. What Edward said, that's Bless. How many people would it take? $10 a piece, and he could build a compound or whatever you want to call it, a big one, a real big one. And it could even be earthquake proof. By the way, Latoya, they do make earthquake proof buildings. They're on rollers. Big ball bearings. They have them in, I was in Taiwan, they have them. I believe the Philippines has them. Oh, I know Singapore has them, right, Tina? Yeah. They're made of.
That's right. We do have it.
Yep. There's two types of earthquakes. The ones that go up and down, they're pretty nasty. But the ones that sway back and forth, they work pretty well with the ball bearings or whatever. They're huge. But yeah, anything can be done, like Ask Me Before I said. And we're going to have the resources. We just got to focus it on the right place. And the only way to do that is keep digging in the dirt and find the diamonds. Some of them pop up easy, like the Toya just did. But it's because of this platform that she even had a place to say something. And whoever invited her and Edward, Theodore, whoever did, that's how you do it. That's what's going to make a difference. And I did not cut in, Bruce, because I love you. And Narelle, I would never cut in front of you because I'm afraid of you. So, Chris, give it back to him.
No, I knew you had to go. So, Marty, thank you for that. I'm going to say this real quick. I know the last couple of weeks, it's been tough to do webinars. A lot of people say, what should we talk about? I was actually talking to Julie about this last night. I said, I have the easiest webinar because people already have this in their heart and in their brains. I don't really have to talk about products. I already know how great they are. I think I have the easiest webinar possible to run because all you got to do is come on and tell us how you want to fix things. It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. So I'm really excited to be part of Obless. I really am. And LaToya, I said, I've found more gems on this website and they're popping out all over, but I know there's a lot more out there. I know I'm looking at a lot on this thing. And guys, really, that's what we're looking for. I mean, I'm going to bet $1 million LaToya did not come on here to be this vocal, even though I've heard her talk before, but she's answering these questions like she's been doing this for years because she has. She's a social worker. All right. Now her skills are phenomenal, but I know I'm not a social worker. I got a daughter that's a social worker. I can't compete with these ladies, but I can learn from them. So you don't really necessarily have to have the educational you hang around with LaToya long enough, you're going to understand what her goal was when she became a social worker. My daughter drives me up the wall because she comes home every day and she tells me about what she had to do. Her challenges see, I can't even speak right, but it's pretty interesting. But I'm learning from her. I just don't know that I am. But then I get someone like LaToya on here. I'm like, okay, I know exactly what she's talking about now. So, all right, I got to get back to these individuals. It is, listen, Brucey, I'm going to let Narelle go first because I'm a gentleman still. And I know you're waiting, but Narelle, I know Bruce is going to say, you go right ahead, Narelle, right, Bruce?
Yes, I was going to tell you that anyway.
I knew you would. So, Bruce, I appreciate it. You are a true gentleman. Narelle, I hope you're doing great. Good. It's good to see you back. Strong as ever. You went through some tough times. Go ahead, Narelle. Let's hear what you got.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Lynn. It's always an absolute honor to be here on the Obless platform. I wanted to thank you also, Bruce, for letting me go first. I wanted to thank Edward and LaToya and anyone else who spoke today. But LaToya, you touched a part of my heart because I was misdealt with as a child. I am Narelle Walk-On from Australia, and you wouldn't think that it happens. And Australia is away from a lot of countries. We are a very rich country. We are diverse. We have everything we absolutely need. But my heart always goes out to the children. One of the things that you mentioned was giving the children a voice. Now, back in my day, when all of these things happened, basically growing up in a religion or church, and this isn't against any one of them, it was said to not talk about things, brush things under the carpet. You were never given a voice to even feel confident enough to say, hey, this is happening to me. A few years ago, I put together a program called Hear My Voice. Really a beautiful program put together for young girls in particular. And it's not necessarily not saying that boys are not misdealt with, but mine was because I am a woman that I can relate to girls. But that absolutely hit my heart because it is a big thing for children to know that they are heard. And I always said to any child, keep speaking, keep saying, because sooner or later you will hit the right person who will listen. That's the big deal. We as adults, both male, female, need to listen to what our children are saying, because in between those words sometimes is hidden sadness and fear. Fear of stepping out, fear of being told, don't be silly. You know, all of those things that you hear as a child are not necessarily a child being bad, a child being naughty. There is something usually hidden behind that. So Latoya, thank you. Thank you very much for standing up for the children, for allowing them to have a voice. I think it's important that we all understand, you know, what Oh Bless is going to do for our world, you know, for the children, for the homeless, for anyone who reaches out, for those who don't reach out. You know, we need to actually be a voice for those people. And we need to let them know that there is a purpose for them. I think one of the biggest things, you spoke about your 4-year-old wanting to do and help and do the gardens or help in any which way they can. Every one of us and children need a purpose in life, because without that, we don't really have anything. You know, what are we living for? You know, for years, I asked the Lord after my heart surgery, why did you keep me alive when I felt that I didn't have a purpose? But sometimes it doesn't come immediately. It comes step by step in the Lord's way, you know, not in what we think we should be doing. So I suppose I'm asking people to look inside your heart, you know, go inside, see what it is that you really want to do. Oh Bless is a platform that will bring a change. It will bring that balance back to humanity, because as Chris says, we're all here. We're all showing our hearts. We're all here for a purpose. My purpose keeps growing stronger. And yes, I have just been through some really tough times where it has affected me quite emotionally in ways that I never thought that it would. You know, supporting my 2 girls who lost their dad just recently has been overwhelming for me. You know, you talk about the relationship with your dad, and blessings to you, Latoya, for reconnecting and seeing the vision, because that is hugely important for your dad as well. I think, you know, supporting others is a big deal. It isn't just words, it's showing of love. And you certainly show that, Latoya. So blessings to you, blessings to everyone here. And thank you, Chris, for allowing me this platform to share today.
So thank you so much, Noelle. So the way that I interact with my own children, because I'm a single parent, went through a very stressful time last couple of years, and I wasn't, you know, my own parenting skills definitely needed some work. But what I really kind of discovered is I treat my children as equals. You know, they are people. You know, what I tell people is I treat them like roommates. You know, they live here. They're roommates that are broke. They don't pay any rent. You know, you have to do everything for them. You know, sometimes you have to take them to the bathroom, you know, but you know, you're a caregiver. You know, a caregiver is basically what I am for my kids. I'm there to take care of them, but I'm not there to change them or apply my unhealthy expectations to them and their behavior. And a lot of us don't know. A lot of us just are not raised that way. It took me years working in the field. And even then, I did not even feel equipped for my own kids. You know, so I had to have a change of mind and a change of heart. And we can do everything that we can for the children in Haiti. You know, we can give them everything they need. But if we don't give them voice and authority and autonomy, you know, they would be growing up still in a very unhealthy way, even though we are thinking that we're doing the best for them.
Absolutely, Latoya. And I think you're right. You know, like we can, as adults and as males, females, I've always said that I don't want to throw money to people, to those in need, because I don't think it's about just the money. I think the Apple's money, whatever you want to call it, is going to help in many ways. However, it's building that structure, building that platform of allowing them to grow the way that they need to grow. So particularly the children, I was a single mum for many years. I still am a single mum. And it's a struggle out there for any single mums doing the job of both father and mother. And, you know, they say that you can't be the father. Well, you're right, you can't be. You can only be a mum to your children. But by crikey, I can tell you it takes greater strength to step up and do the loving parent, the disciplining parent, the parent that's got to be there 24/7. So kudos to you for raising your children and being the person that you are. So thank you.
Thank you, Narelle. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Wow, this is really becoming really deep here. I love this. Very good, Narelle. And to anyone that had to go through what Narelle had to go through, I apologize. I didn't do it, but I think the world owes you apologies. It's a weird way to say it, but it shouldn't happen to anybody. So as a
adults, man, adults fail the children, and I tell my therapy clients, you know, when we deal with like childhood issues, you know, I'm a mom, and I know that however my children come out, it is 100% my fault, good and bad.
Latoya, we can have a discussion on that. And that's the way, listen, and I have friends that were the most perfect parents in the world, and their kids got into bad drugs. Actually, one took his own life because of heroin, 20 years old, and they were the best parents in the world. I think it's, you know, in this world, there's just, the devil gets in certain people, and the devil knows how to attract those people to people that maybe are a little down or whatever. Just, I always say, you got to keep your eyeball out there all the time. For an example, a funny, cute example, my neighbor and I were outside in our front yard watching the neighbors across the street blow fireworks off last night. Traditional, you know, love it. And he was standing like in his garage, and the firework canister had tipped over, and it shot right at him, and it blew up like a foot from his head. And of course, I'm laughing because he didn't get hit, and he didn't even know what happened. And he looks at me, his ears are ringing. I said, "Come here, Jeremy, come here." I said, "You always got to be aware of your surroundings no matter what, even when you're having fun, because that's when the worst things can happen." So I think a lot of you parents, don't take it so hard, because you all want good for your kids. And no matter what you do, Latoya, you can take your kid to church every single day. You can feed them the best food. Sooner or later, they're going to eat that Twinkie. Sooner or later, they're going to drink one of those drinks. It's normal, but that's called, I think, just growing up. But I think everyone really wants the best thing for their kids. But I want you to think back when you were a kid. Did we always listen to mom and dad? Nah, we didn't. But don't take such heart. If your kid does something wrong, your kid made that decision to do it, just tell them don't do it again. You know, that's the consequences. So,
Chris, can I just
so it is good to know that so that's great, you know, and we're doing that at a young age. You know, I definitely make sure that my kids have good direction and guidance and boundaries with it, and they can do their own thing within, you know, what I say do. And even if they do things, because I'll tell you, my son is 7 and my daughter's 4. They were with their dad, and they said that, "Oh, we walked across the street to the grocery store." And I'm like, "What?" You know, just kind of nonchalantly, you know, they're like, "Yeah, we walked to the grocery store," you know. So, you know, I was very clear with them, you know, you don't do that, you know, I'm sure your dad was very, you know, scared for you, but they were out there because they had the freedom to be in their apartment complex Well, then they decided, well, a friend wanted to go to the grocery store, so they wanted to go to the grocery store too. And so that's what they did. They walked there, they walked back. You know, we didn't, you know, we didn't punish them. We didn't, you know, we didn't turn it into like a World War III. We shared with them how concerned we were about what they did and what do we do the next time. If a friend says, hey, let's walk across the street. Well, we say, no, I can't. I have to talk to my dad first, or I have to talk to my mom first. You know, so it's letting them make the mistakes too, and then helping them process so that they do better the next time, and not coming down with them with a heavy hand. Because what did they learn? They just learned that, well, you know what? The next time I'm not going to tell mom when I go to the grocery store. I'm still going to go, but I'm not going to tell anybody about it. Thank you.
Chris, sorry, can I just step
Narelle,
in?
go ahead.
Yeah, I know, and then I'm off, sorry. Chris, you touched on something about, you know, doing the best job you can as a parent. You know, my parents may or may not have known what was going on, but they were doing the best they could at the time. And I just want to say that to each and every one of you. We can look back in hindsight and say, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have done that. I should have did this, or, you know, done that differently. But we can't live in hindsight. We can only live today and to look forward for the future. We do the best we can with what we have at the time, with the knowledge that we have. They thought they were doing the right thing by keeping quiet, or, you know, under that religious sect of, you know, not saying anything, but they only believed in what they were told at the time or their experience. So I just want to say, for all parents out there, you know, it's a tough job. You know, we're not handed a manual to say, this is how you raise your children, step 1 to 10. You know, we're just given and blessed with children, and I am certainly blessed with my 3, because I was told I only had 5% to have them or to have any child. So they are a true blessing. But even to this day, there are some things that my children do that I sort of think, whoa, okay, I didn't teach them that. You know, the society out there says they've got to be this way and that way, and they're pulled and they're pushed and everything like that. So you just have to stay strong in your faith. If you have faith, know that you are doing the best you can today. And when you learn more, you will do more, you know. So I just wanted to share that, Chris. Thanks again.
Very welcome, Narelle. Thank you for bringing all those beautiful things up, and I'm glad to see you back, sweetie. Okay, guys, we have Bruce, you're next. We have it's like a little after 10:30. Try to want to get done before 11 or sooner. We have after Bruce, we have 1, 2, 3 hands, it looks like, up. So anyone that wants to get their thing in, raise your hand now so I can get everybody in. Bruce, please go ahead and unmute yourself.
Thank you, Chris. What a lively night we've had tonight. And I want to first of all thank Eddie for his enthusiasm and his passion. And, you know, it was weird to hear him say, well, if I can't do it here, I'll do it in Africa. But where you want to be is Haiti. So that's where you stay. I was brought up, and I learned early, I learned in my growing up that my parents did the best they could with what they knew. So whatever a parent gives to a child comes from what they've learned themselves. Theo, I want to thank you for encouraging me to be here. And I want to say to you, Latoya, you're not a diamond in the rough. You're a treasure found. And you've always been a treasure all your life. And what I always said, we should understand that we're all perfect. And we should teach our children about their perfection, about their goodness and their qualities of abilities that they have that they don't even know they have yet. But, you know, when I was in East Africa, I was involved with a group of addicted mothers. And they were homeless because they had nothing, because they used all the money on drugs. And my friend opened up a house called Malaika House. I think Malaika means miracle or hope. And but the one thing they didn't have really was she found the place, but there was no mission statements. And it's very important to be organized in a place of knowing what the mission is and writing it down. And I know you as a social worker know how to do that. And those kind of things are important, because if you don't have focus, you don't have a strong foundation. And our program here, we call it, if you look at the sign behind Chris, behind most of us, it's lifting up humanity. Here we are, we're lifting up humanity, children of all kinds of ages, because they're orphans. One of the things in Haiti is also there are a lot of homeless orphans, a lot of children who are on the street. And when they're on the street, they have a tendency of learning how to survive, and they learn the habits of survival on the street. And part of that is, how do you lift those people up? How do you know who's not going to hurt? It's not just adults that can hurt children. It's children who can hurt children. And teaching them how to be kind, how to be passionate, how to have hope themselves is a lot of what will happen in the communities you want to build up. But it takes time, and it takes a lot of people. I'm not saying, I have no idea where they'll come from, but a lot of them will come from the Asian community. And a lot of times those people in the Asian community are filled with despair themselves. And when they see you try to do something that's just for children, they want to come aboard to help. So it's very important to involve the Haitian community in any effort that goes on, because this not only the children's home, it's the Haitian home. You've had a lot of hardship in Haiti. You've had terrible floods, you've had terrible earthquakes, and all those things can be remedied. And because you have terrible floods and terrible earthquakes, you have terrible water, and you have terrible nutrition, and all those things can be helped with or blessed. And like Rory said, even if each, not that it would happen, but ideally if each almost 1.5 million founders all gave $1, that would be a lot of help to start this. There'll be a lot of people other than just the people in on passive say, well, help you get funds to us also. Because that's what's important. Because everybody in the world today wants to help other people, the majority of people. And so I commend you on what you're doing. I commend Eddie on what he's doing. I want you to be assured that you have the support of everybody here. But always remember to have the vision of what it is that you're trying to create. Hold on to the vision, just like Ash held on to the vision of On Passive, which he has no name for to begin with. And look how it's grown from what he originally wanted to do to where it is now. So as long as you stay focused and have a strong base, that would be important. But like I say, you are a treasure found, and your father is a treasure found, and everybody here is a treasure found. So I commend you, and I think you know as well the homelessness is in Haiti too, and what the complexities of the situation may be.
So thank you so much, Bruce. That was a beautiful compliment. I appreciate that so much. And so, Haiti is one of those countries who has had a refugee crisis. So many refugees around the world A lot of them here in America are from Haiti. So, you know, as we imagine things going forward, as we make it safer for the children to be there, that makes it safer for those who are not there to come back. So that also opens up the opportunity for people to feel safer coming back to their home, because people come to, you know, people leave Haiti, you know, in terrible circumstances, and, you know, they get here and they are treated awfully. You know, we have one of our former world leaders calling it a, you know, Haiti, you know, forgive my language, you know, from you know, a shithole country. Well, the only reason why it's like that is because there are superpowers that have intentionally oppressed and depressed the country. So people have to leave in those circumstances. So as we're working to make it a safer place for children to live, to learn, to grow, to play, and have a better life, that also raises the tide for those who had to leave to be able to come back and to do the same.
The
Thanks,
other,
Bruce. I appreciate that.
the other thing that will be very important is music, because children really love to dance. They love to dance and they love to sing. They love to bang drums all the time. So make sure the curriculum has a lot of happy music. And always own the fact that you are a gem and a treasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Bruce. Man, Brucey, I'm gonna start letting you go first from now on. All right, thanks, Bruce. All right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 hands. It's almost 11:15, so I'm gonna make last call for hands. I'm gonna get these 4 in, and we'll call it a night, because I know a lot of people got to go to work tomorrow, and probably a lot of you enjoyed the 4th and are a little tired. So, Musharraf, if I said that correct, Hussein, can you please unmute yourself? Thank you, Bruce.
Can you hear me? Yes.
Not very good.
Okay, now it's okay.
That's better. Yes, sir.
Okay. Actually, Perry, I just asked you one question about that. You're working like at the children basis. So, what do you think about like special children? Because I'm also working from in this social work long time. So we are looking for like a and notice like some special children from in this particular work. So how you manage about the particular special children about that? Because you know it's like 100 children. It's like some 1 or 2 the special children is very talented, and this type of children we want to train or personally for that other, you know, it's a brainstorm. So how you manage from there? Because last time you just come to our webinar and say, oh, you are the psychology, uh, you'll work from here. So how you manage? Just simple questions I want.
So when you describe, when you are saying the word special, are we talking about special needs, or are we talking about those diamonds in the rough too, special in that way? If you could clarify, please.
A special means is like you know, we say like some abnormal children. It's like they have a knowledge, they have a very strong brain, but it's not like normal children. They have to do a work like that or something. I think you understand now.
Yes, thank you. So I could see that would come in a couple of different ways. And again, it would be a very, very huge effort. Hold on, I'm sorry.
Gotta take care of those kids, Latoya. I love it. I love it.
Also forgets that she walks around with half dressed. So she wants chips. So yeah, that would be, so that's not my area of expertise for sure, but I suspect there are founders who have more information and are subject matter experts in that area. So I suspect there would be evaluations, just kind of seeing what their level is, what the delays might be, and there's, teachers are able to do that. Mental health professionals are able to do that. So it would be what we call in the field multidisciplinary. So they'd have different disciplines. Addressing those very, very issues that you mentioned as a Mufareh. So it would be an effort, a collaborative effort. It would be, I would think a good way to do that is when we get the opportunity to put out the campaign, we're working, bit by bit to create the foundation and what professionals would need to be involved in those areas. That makes sense.
Oh, definitely. Material, actually, that's why I'm saying, because we are working in India and your country. It's lots of country. It's a totally different. I think in India, that's a huge population, and it's very difficult to be managed from there. Why I'll tell you, because it's a family also are very helpless because they don't have money to manage from there. This is a very bigger problem too, as a special child. And one of the thing as a special child, they have lots of talent, very talented, but they're not able to do work. They don't have an option to where they'll manage from there. So we'll take that children to will like as a painting, as a different type of gaming. They're very interested. So we are developed like that. So as you do this thing to your, it's a work you added from there. So these are the work you have to manage from other special children, because it's very important to we are developed at the brain, and it's really it's a good work if we'll do that. So what do you say to your point?
Yes, so you're right. I do agree. Sometimes when children don't move along in the way that some adults expect them to move along, they retreat to themselves. We don't know what's going on, and people either don't have the time, the effort, the desire, the will to do anything more to help them thrive and to grow and to bloom in their own way. So that's where we have the opportunity to make a huge impact by giving the children the space to be able to do that. And even if there might be something that might hold them back, the brain is an amazing organ. And if one area is not as strong, other areas work together to make that area strong, but there's practice, it has to be repetition. So even if children are not particularly strong in one area, they can be strong in many, many other areas. And so that might be less of a focus. It's important, but then we give them experiences, we give them opportunities, we give them the ability to speak in the way that they can or that they want to speak. And that goes a long way when it comes to education. And it goes a long way when it comes to, feeling confident despite whatever may be holding you back that you can't control.
All right.
Okay.
Definitely.
Latoya, thank you.
Yes.
Musharraf, you got to have a whole nother show for the questions you're asking, brother, but I appreciate you. She answered all your questions pretty good there?
Yeah, actually, Chris, I'll just say that I'm also doing work from there. It's a very huge population. It's like 25,000 people. They are stay at one place and they don't have an option. They don't have an opportunity. It's like you not believe it's very difficult to they will earn $1 in a day and they will manage his family. It's a very difficult. In that particular area, we have to do this work, our team. So that's why we'll ask this question.
No, good. They were a great question, Musharraf. Do me a favor, connect with Latoya. I'm sure Latoya and her father can help out with a lot of things that's going on over there. You guys could probably have some pretty good emails and learn from each other. I appreciate your questions, though.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm going to still be around. I'll be listening on my headset, but I'm getting snacks and things. So
I got you, Latoya.
I'll still be here. I'll still be here. Thank you.
You got to be a mom. We got you. All right, Miss Dr. Benny, my queen, come on down.
Thank you so much, Brother Chris, for giving me this opportunity. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to each and everyone. I want to take this special moment to thank Miss Latoya and her daddy for sharing this opportunity. We know that these children, they need a lot of help. And because of OnPassive, Bless is going to help. Just to ask, I do have just two questions, but let me ask one first. First of all, I want to thank those who came before me. Thank you guys for asking your question. And I want to thank Ms. Latoya for answering all the questions. Just for a little bit of research that I have done, it shows that in Haiti, with the youthful population in Haiti belongs to gangs, right? And all who lives on the street. Mr. Edward and Mrs. Latoya, do you guys have any plans for those children?
Okay, so that's where the security issue comes in, I think, because what's happening in Haiti is these children are being orphaned because the gangs are allowed, they kill adults. They're kind of just indiscriminately. And so when children are orphaned and left out to their own devices, what happens is they find another family, and now they found family in these gangs. So that's, I think, I'm not sure if the project that my dad has in mind right now would even be able to touch or come close to being able to solve that problem. However, if we focus on getting those children, when they lose their parents, getting them into a safer environment and a healthier family system than what's available for them right now. If that makes sense. Dr. Benny?
Yes, please. One more thing to ask you. Since you guys already have the children, have you guys ever thought of asking them, or what are their goals? What do they really want to do in life? Maybe if you ask them what they want, what do they want? Do you want to be like, let's give an example, like Michael Jordan. Just giving an example. What are their goals in life? Maybe you can ask them. Thank you so much.
Yes, absolutely. And like I mentioned, it's, children, they're people, they're young humans, so they have goals and they have aspirations, kind of depending on where they are, developmentally, age-wise and things like that. That would definitely be a conversation to have with the older children. As we're getting with the younger children, they have more opportunities and more experiences to get to know what they like, what they don't like. Maybe they like gardening, maybe they like, volunteering, maybe they like cooking, and they get an opportunity to try out a whole range of things. And it's the experiences that are important. And sometimes as kids get older and they haven't had those experiences, well, what do we need to do? We ask them, how can we help you? What do you need? If things could get better for you, what would that have to be? And so depending, if it's age appropriate, yes, ma'am, absolutely. We ask them, what do you want? How do you see yourself making an impact? I mean, that's kind of a high level question for like a teenager, but I think if we give them the opportunity, if we ask them, a lot of times they don't even get to ask. They don't even get asked what they want or how we as adults can help them, so giving them the opportunity to be able to speak up, incredibly important. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your support.
Thank you, Dr. Benny. Appreciate you. Okay, guys, we got 3 hands left. Excellent points, Dr. Benny, as always. Mr. Mark, can you please unmute yourself? We got about 3 minutes to 11, but I want to get the last 3 hands in. So if anyone raises their hand after David Auto, I'm cutting your fingers off. All right, go ahead, Mark. Go ahead.
I really like what he's doing. And
Mark, you got to speak up, brother.
can you hear me now?
No, buddy, barely.
Barely. Is it any better now?
That's a little better.
I really like what she's doing. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now, Mark. How you doing, brother?
Okay. I like what she's doing, and I was thinking that she could, or somebody could somehow donate a lot of musical instruments, and then young people can play the musical instruments that they are given for free. Really nice instruments, $5,000 a piece, and then people can have fun playing the musical instruments, and their days will be better because they play music. And I played my trumpet tonight, and it was a lot of fun to play my trumpet. It made my day better. So I know that young people can have a lot of fun playing a musical instrument too. And somebody should donate a lot of musical instruments, a lot of nice musical instruments to the place that she's talking about.
Very good.
Oh, thank you. Thanks,
Latoya.
Mark. Yeah, so I just want to be clear. This is my dad's project. So I want him to definitely have the credit for that. So I'm the helper. So Mark, I do appreciate what you're saying. Like I used to play instruments as a kid. I sing a lot at home. So yeah, it's the experiences, just giving kids opportunities to do something different, to try something new. And learning music is great. Now I'm kind of thinking to myself, like, wow, do we need to, be getting music teachers involved? Absolutely. If we have the space and opportunity, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So one of the things about being a musician is that helps with so many aspects of your life. not only just the enjoyment of hearing the music and being creative and reading music, it's like math, so if you add music into any type of educational system, it increases anybody's level of intelligence. And I don't want to say it's a proven fact, but I think I've heard it in the research somewhere out there that knowing music and being able to understand, read, play music, play instruments, singing, all of that is great for the brain. It is awesome. It is awesome for the brain. So yeah, I like that idea. Thank you, Mark.
I would teach music for free. Music is my favorite thing on earth. I would teach music for free. I can play the trumpet, and I'm good at playing the trumpet. And I also think that somebody should donate like 25,000 boxes of colored pencils and pads of paper so everybody can color colorful pictures with colored pencils.
I like it, Mark. Oh, bless is coming, brother. Oh, bless is coming. Keep putting those ideas down, and I would love to see you as a music teacher, Mark. I really would. Thank you for the questions, Mark, and Latoya. Thank you for answering again. Okay, Dr. Imelda, and then we got David Odo, and then Julie Wynn, I know, has to say something too. Dr. Imelda, please unmute yourself, please.
Thank you very much, Chris. And I really want to thank Latoya and the rest of the panelists. Hello, everyone. Okay, I really do not have questions for Latoya. I listened, and I really want to commend you and your father for the philanthropic gestures you're doing with such a humanity heart that you do have. But I'm just trying to comment here that we will be able to utilize OBLES to leverage all what you are doing and what you hope to do, especially by connecting those who are in need to those who have the ability to make the provisions. For instance, via OBLES, somebody like Mark will be able to utilize that platform to do what? Provide the services he just said he could. I'll give you just a quick example. Just lately, I came from Libreville, just from some orphanage and shelter seeing me on Facebook, realizing that I do philanthropic work. They reach out to me and see if I can just provide them water. That's to tell you how much that the world today needs the basic things. The basic necessities of lives are totally lacking. Considering what my sister mentioned earlier about our young children engaging in guns. When I went to Libreville, there were a good number of children who were under protection, meaning I couldn't take pictures with them because, again, it's going to expose them to the gang-related environment. Why am I bringing all of this? To say that what Mr. Mufareh has put in place, OBLES, is definitely going to be that platform that's going to be our one-stop go-to environment where it can be able to connect people who can be able to provide things like this, instruments like Mr. Mark is appealing to, as well as with people who can provide the services that are necessary. So again, Latoya, you and your dad are doing the best thing. And with all of us within OnPassive, it's what we are longing for. OBLES is going to be that one product that is going to surpass anything else that I believe that OnPassive is going to award us because of, again, the humanitarian aspect embedded in its entire concept. So again, let's stay strong, remain strong, because we are all in it to win it. Thank you all.
So thank you so much, Dr. Imelda. Thank you. Yes, and that's exactly my train of thought there. Whatever we need, I just wanted to say to Mark, he mentioned donating. Well, we won't have to do that. We won't have to, when I think of donations, I'm thinking of, we are struggling to get this stuff that we need, and I'm sure that's not what he meant, but that's kind of what I heard, that kind of comes to me when I hear donations versus charitable giving or whatever it is that we want to call it. But yes, On Passive is the total solution. It's the total solution for everything. So if you left your contact information for me and my dad in the chat, I have taken screenshots or taken pictures of all that information. I know Engineer Mike left me a number. That young lady, Armanadine Jacotin, I've gotten her information. So thank you all if you've left me anything. If you want to leave me anything, I know we're running short on time. I will be happy to take your information and we'll be reaching out to you in the near future. Thank you.
Wonderful. David Oda, you had your hand up. Would you like to say something, brother?
I was just kind of bouncing around back and forth about childhood and stuff, right? And like it depends. Like, okay, they're all refugees and that, so a lot of them probably come from places where they haven't been exposed to a lot of things. So, you know what I mean? Like giving them stuff that's gonna get them going, and you know, like show them new things and that. Let a kid be a kid, right? You know, and they're like sponges. I know I was a kid once, right? But you know, like I say,
you were never a kid, David. Come on now. No, David, I agree with you on that. That's a big problem with me in this world today is we don't let our kids be kids. Kids are supposed to be having fun, enjoying things, because sooner or later they're going to get old and crepit like us, and we can't do nothing. So yeah, let kids be kids and let them learn as much as they can. David, go ahead.
Yeah, because I mean, like, well, growing up, I was in home to home and stuff, and not all of them are that great, right? And so by the time I was 16, I decided to cut out on my own, be my own boss. But I was still a kid, eh? But like I say, what I look back on and what children are going through today in really, really bad areas and stuff, they really, really need guidance. And they basically, if they're given an opportunity, they're going to go for it, right? Because like an idle mind is like, you know, trouble, right? But you keep them occupied and help them find out what they do like. And I don't know, like I say, let a kid be a kid, and they grow up. Experience be your best teacher. My father always told me, and that's pretty true.
Absolutely, David. Absolutely.
Okay, thanks for letting me speak. Y'all have a good night.
You're welcome, David. Okay, before I let Julie go on, I want to thank everyone so I don't forget, because I got it all in my head. I know Daryl had just left because he had to get some sleep. I want to thank Daryl Cook for taking those notes like he always does. I definitely want to thank Mr. Edward Francis and his beautiful daughter, LaToya, for bringing a whole new, listen, we started with one way, but I think we kept it to the program as far as kids. Edward, I appreciate you for bringing this up. We got a lot of attention for Haiti tonight. I think you should be very proud of your daughter because she's a phenomenal lady. And I'm so glad we got to meet both of you. So I appreciate you both. I want to thank all the speakers that got on here. Theodore Williams, who is the silent gem that I'm definitely going to tickle more to get him to talk some more. I know he's got a lot more in him. I want to thank all the speakers on here. I want to thank Julie Wen, Lynn Nakamoto for helping running the board and advertising. Marty DeGarmo for coming on here and saying his wise words, and everyone on the YouTube channels that are watching. And hold on, I got another message. I'm getting all kind of messages right now. Yeah, and then just everyone for coming here. So on that note, I want to hand it over to Julie Wen. Where are you? Julie, go ahead and unmute yourself, please. Julie, you're muted. Go ahead and say whatever you got to say, Julie. I missed it, so you go right ahead.
Thank you so much, Chris, for spearheading this beautiful program called Oblast. And I wanted to extend my congratulations and thank you to Edward Francis LaToya is a result of how you are doing right now, because you have created and raised a beautiful daughter in the right place, had the right heart at the same time. And also right now, LaToya is on that path raising her children as well. So being, you know, a mom nowadays, I do have a degree in teaching, and now raising my two beautiful children, I see that us as parents, how our children came about, how children grow up by right now, it's a success for us as parents. So however my children grow up to be, I claim that is my success, because how I guide them through. And that's exactly what we are all doing right now, is to be able to guide our children through. All the children in the world right now need some type of guidance. And guidance has to come with a lot of love, a lot of patience, and a lot of fun to help them raise as well. So whatever that you are doing right now, Edward, LaToya's, and everyone that focusing on the children, I just want to commend you, and I thank you for doing that. I believe children nowadays is a future for our life, our country, and thank God for Unpassive. Thank God for our CEO, Ash Mufareh. Give us that opportunity to do so. I had a conversation with my children today, and I said, you know, I'm so proud of what you guys are doing, because look at what it is now happening in the US in the past weeks. It is very sad being mom or dad, seeing your children going in that dark path. And so we are here having that opportunity to focus on the children of the world, the children nowadays. Let's connecting and let's support Haiti, and let's support Edward, LaToya, and anyone that focusing on the children to become a better future, and you know, the future for this entire world. So thank you, Chris, for doing that, and thank you, Edward and LaToya, to come on here and share with us. Congratulations, Edward. You did some amazing job raising and bringing LaToya into this world. And now she's taking that and she's continued to do that with her children as well.
So Julie, just let me add just one little quick thing, and my dad might be embarrassed, but he didn't actually raise me. We did not meet until the first time I ever talked to him was March of 2022. My mom chose not to tell me my paternity. And so we only just met. So I would say that since he did not raise me, I'm his spitting image. I look like him. You know, if I were an 80-year-old man, I look just like him. And his spirit is my spirit too. So even though he didn't raise me, his spirit has always been with me. Thank you.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you so much, LaToya, for letting me know that. I really appreciate you coming on here and speak on behalf of your dad as well. Thank you so much. All right, Chris, I know I'm hesitating to say this, but thank you for supporting a lot of the YouTubers out there. And he has mentioned, and we did a speedy live, and I really hesitate to come on here and talk about tomorrow, but this is part of what Chris wanted to do, supporting the YouTuber out there, and for all that wanted to become a YouTuber. So tomorrow at 7:00 p.m. Eastern time, I asked Marty to ask Dan and Mike and everyone that know and understand how powerful it is to have your own YouTube and to share it out to the world. I believe in the massive action. Let's say if 1.5 million of us has YouTube that talk about Unpassive, imagine the massive impact to the world. So tomorrow I'm holding a no pro YouTube tell it all how I did it when I start building and putting together the Julie and Milo show, and on YouTube, and also for my personal YouTube as well. I will be doing that, and I'll share what I did, how I did. It will be baby step. So if you already have the YouTube channel and you are doing well, and you know exactly what to do, you're more than welcome to come in and share. However, the panel only have 100 people on the panel, so that the people that actually truly needs to work on YouTube and how to set up, they can come on and they can ask questions. So tomorrow it's at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Please, if you have a laptop and if you have an iPhone, that is what we're focusing on. Laptop is for you to watch the Zoom. On the Zoom, the iPhone is for you to follow. It's going to be baby step. So for some of us, it might be really boring, but you want to be there when Dan and Marty, and I haven't gotten a confirmation yet, but I know that Marty will be there. He always support on everything that we are doing. So thank you, Marty, for that. But if you like to come on at the very beginning and listen to what Dan and Marty and Mike do, you're more than welcome. But please make sure you leave the panel for the people that actually need to build their own, to set up their own YouTube channel. So that is tomorrow. I will post a link in the back office. I don't know if it's live stream. I don't think it is, probably the first part, but the second part, it's just for all of us getting together and kind of helping and supporting each other. So that's tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Thank you, Chris. Beautiful work that you are doing. I'm always here if anyone needed help. I'm always be here. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Julie Nguyen. And tomorrow's on Past the 360, I believe, is at noon with myself, Red, and Marty. I'll probably get more information in the next couple hours on that. It's going to be a long night, I think. But guys, stay blessed. God bless you all. Once again, LaToya and your amazing father. And I told Edward he wasn't allowed to turn his camera on because he's 80 some years old. He looks like he's 32, and that can't happen. The only sexy guy in here has got to be me, I told him. So, Edward, it's a privilege.
Standard time, 10 o'clock tomorrow, 360?
360 will be at, I believe, right at 12 noon EDT, but I won't find that out till the morning time. We'll have it posted. Red will have it posted probably in the next couple hours here. So
thank you, dear.
All right, you're welcome. Edward, LaToya, my heart goes out to you. Let's do what I always say, Haiti. Unpass is coming. We're going to help the children and rebuild Haiti. And Edward and his amazing daughter are going to lead the path. And anyone that's watching this as a recording later, if you want to get information or contact with LaToya, send me your information if you watch this tomorrow. And I promise you, I will get it to LaToya and to her father if you want to help out. Once again, thanks for everyone that helped out. I love every one of you. Go get some sleep. The excitement is just starting. And when we launch to the world, you guys, you haven't seen me excited yet. When I know that we're putting apples in people's bellies, people's hands, people's countries to better them, then you're going to see some excitement. I love every one of you. Unmute yourself and say
love you too.
Bye,
guys.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Everybody.
Everybody.
Good
Morning.
Good night. I'm going to miss you.
See you all again.
From
Norway.
Very soon.
Everyone. Thanks.
Hey,
Chris. Thank you, Julie.
Love you all.
Julie.
Thank you so much.
Have
a good night, everyone.
See all of you soon. Real soon.
Sylvie.
Wait a minute.
Good night.
One thing. Hold on, John. Hold on. Let me say one thing. Lily Lane, I had an assignment that I completely forgot about, and I see your face. Lily Lane, what was my assignment I gave everyone last week?
The assignment was, if they lose everything that they have, what would they do?
Okay.
Bye-bye,
That's where we're going to start out. Hi, Runa. That's what we're going to start out next week. And Lily Lane is going to be the first speaker before 10 seconds after I talk to answer that question. So Lily Lane, say it one more time. What was the assignment?
What will you do if you lose everything that you have?
Oh, that's easy.
Your
That's
dogs
awesome.
died, your chicken died, everything. What
All right. Good night, everyone. We'll see you next. We'll see you tomorrow.
Good night, Dr. Benny.
Bye.
Good night, Bridget.
Was
Good night, brother.
Good
I
night,
didn't forget
Julie.
Lily. I was waiting,
Bye, everyone.
I was waiting for you at
Good
the
night.
end.
Have a good day.
Good night.